Hey friends, listen up. Because if you're planning to apply for a US visa or you've got family who is, there's a major change coming that you need to know about. I'm not talking about something happening next year or in the distant future. This starts in November. And if you don't stay on top of it, your visa plans could hit a serious roadblock. The US State Department has just announced an important update to visa processing. Starting in November, the way immigrant visa interviews are scheduled is going to change. That means the National Visa Center, the NVC, is rolling out a new system for how and when interviews happen. Why is this a big deal? Because if you've been waiting months for your appointment or you're hoping to bring your loved ones to the US, these changes could speed things up or, if you're not prepared, slow things down even more. And here's the truth. This isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a bigger pattern of changes we've been seeing all year, like the return of mandatory in-person interviews for most non-immigrant visas starting September, the new visa integrity fee kicking in this October, and even the extra screening like social media checks for student and exchange visas. The rules are tightening, the process is shifting, and if you're not aware of what's coming, it can cost you time, money, and opportunities. That's exactly why I'm making this video to keep you informed and ahead of the curve. Because I know how stressful this journey can be. I've seen people miss deadlines, lose interview slots, even risk their chance to come to the US, all because they didn't have the right information at the right time. I don't want that to happen to you. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and stick with me. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down what's changing in November, what it means for your visa application, and most importantly, what you can do right now to avoid delays and protect your plans. And before we jump in, do me a quick favor. If this sounds helpful, hit that like button. It helps this video reach more people who need this information, and it tells me to keep bringing you updates that matter. All right, let's get started. Because there's a lot happening right now with US visa rules, and the last thing I want is for you to miss something important. So, what exactly is changing in November? Starting November 1st, the National Visa Center, the NVC, is updating how it schedules immigrant visa interviews. If you're in the process of getting a green card through family sponsorship or employment, this is going to affect you. The new system is designed to make things more efficient, but let's be honest, any change in the visa world can feel like a curveball. If you don't know what's happening, it can cause stress, delays, and even missed opportunities. Now, here's why this matters so much. You know how getting an interview slot right now feels like winning the lottery? Some people are waiting months, even over a year, for an appointment, and the backlog has been brutal. The new scheduling system is supposed to reduce those delays by improving how appointments are assigned, especially for cases that are documentarily qualified and ready to go. That sounds good, right? It is, but only if you're prepared. Because the NVC is going to be stricter than ever about making sure your case is complete before they schedule you. That means if you have missing documents, if you haven't uploaded everything properly, or if your information isn't up to date, you're going to get left behind while other people move forward. So what should you do? You need to make sure your case is fully ready before November hits. Double check your civil documents, your financial forms, your fees, everything. If even one thing is missing, the system won't prioritize you for an appointment. And let me just say this, don't wait for them to tell you. Be proactive. Because when the change kicks in, people who are prepared will jump ahead in the queue, and those who aren't, well, they'll be waiting even longer. Now, this isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a bigger trend we've been seeing for months, and I want to walk you through those changes because they all connect. If you understand the full picture, you'll know exactly how to protect yourself and your family. Let's start with September, because this one shocked a lot of people. For the past few years, many applicants were getting their visas without an in-person interview thanks to something called the interview waiver or Dropbox system. That was a lifesaver during the pandemic when consulates were closed and backlogs were massive. Well, guess what? That's gone. As of September 2nd, Most non-immigrant visa applicants have to attend an in-person interview again. This includes people applying for work visas like H-1B, L visas, students on F or M visas, exchange visitors on J visas, even some O-1 visas. There are very few exceptions now, so if you were hoping to just mail in your documents and avoid the interview, that's no longer an option. You need to plan for that extra step, and yes, it might mean more waiting if your consulate is busy. Why are they doing this? The State Department says it's about security and making sure every case gets a proper review. But let's be honest, it also means more pressure on consulates and more competition for appointments. So if you're applying for a visa soon, book that interview as early as possible. Don't assume you can just walk in or get a quick slot. Those days are gone. Now, moving on to October, another big change that could hit your wallet. Starting October 1st, the US is introducing something called the Visa Integrity Fee. It's $250, and it applies to certain non-immigrant visa categories. The government says it's refundable under some circumstances, but let's be real, most people will just see it as an extra cost on top of everything else. And if you've already been paying visa fees, service fees, biometrics, and all that, you know it adds up fast. So if you're budgeting for your trip or your move, make sure you factor this in. The last thing you want is to get all the way to your appointment and realize you're short on fees. And here's the kicker. The visa integrity fee is just the start. There's also been a push for more security screening, and that brings us to the social media checks. Back in June, they rolled out new rules for student visas, F and M visas, and exchange visitor visas like J. Now, applicants have to provide their social media usernames as part of the process. That means consular officers can review your online presence before making a decision. And in some cases, they might even expect your accounts to be public. That's a huge change. So if you or your kids are planning to study in the US, be careful about what's on those accounts. I'm not saying you need to delete everything, but definitely make sure there's nothing that could raise questions. Something harmless to you might look suspicious to them, and it could slow down or even derail your visa. And if you're sitting there thinking, wow, this is a lot, I get it. Immigration is stressful. There are so many rules, so many updates, and it feels like they change overnight. But here's the good news. You don't have to figure it out alone. That's why I make these videos. To keep you informed, to give you clear steps, and to make sure you don't miss something that could cost you time or money. Before we go any further, can I ask you a small favor? If this video is helping you right now, if it's giving you clarity, please hit that like button. It helps this video reach more people who are in the same situation as you, and it tells me you want more updates like this. It only takes a second, and it really does make a difference. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And if you're applying for a non-immigrant visa, like a student visa or work visa, prepare for the interview. Practice your answers, have your documents ready, and book your appointment early. With interviews now mandatory again, those slots are going to fill up fast. Don't assume you'll get one in time. Plan ahead. One more thing I want to say before we wrap up. Please don't panic. Yes, these changes are real. Yes, they can be stressful. But if you stay informed and act early, you'll be fine. The people who struggle the most are the ones who ignore the updates or hope they don't apply to them. You're watching this video, which means you're already ahead of the game. So let's keep that momentum going. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I read them all. And if you want to stay updated on every change coming this year, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss an important update that could affect your plans. All right, that's it for today. November's coming fast, so check your documents, get ready, and stay positive. You've got this, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.